Hey, welcome to another edition of BeerAmerica.tv, and we are at
Moon River Brewing Company.
Exactly right, here in Savannah, Georgia. It is so good to be back here, and if you notice, we don't have any beers in our hands because I think, you know, John and I talk a lot off camera about issues and stuff, and John is on the Brewers Association Board of Directors.
Indeed. And
so you're plugged in, right? I mean, pretty much. With
issues. I'm plugged in.
Oh, yeah. Sweet. Yes, he's plugged in. So anyway, we talk about issues all the time, and I find it fascinating from, you know, his perspective, and there are some issues that from my perspective, and John and I trade these and how they cross over and so on and so forth. And one of those issues that's been really hot lately is beer and television.
Indeed.
Why is there no television show about craft beer? Now, Brewmasters, you know, came and went. For, you know, whatever reason, we're not really sure. I have my theory about why it didn't succeed. Certainly not for the lack of trying. I mean, Tom Beers, who does, you know, Deadliest Catch and I think No Reservations and all of that, he was the mastermind behind it. And then you have Sam Calagione as the host, who is, you know, likable on every angle.
Yeah, and it was a beautifully produced show. I mean,
exactly right. Exactly my point. On Discovery Channel, I mean, one of the biggest networks in the world. My theory is this, and I've had some haters on the internet, but I can tell you, and I'll debate it with anybody, that I think the reason why Brewmasters didn't work for the numbers that were needed for Discovery Channel was much like the craft brewing, I guess that slice that is, you know, that 5% or whatever it is, that 6%, okay? That's not going to translate to millions of viewers. There's still a 90-some-odd% of people that are still drinking the macros that don't understand this yet. So those people weren't flocking to Brewmasters to find out what Dogfish Head and Sam Calagione was doing. Now, in our world, it'd be like, it's so natural to us, but I think there's still a huge population out there that just doesn't get this yet. They're still drinking the macros.
Yeah, I mean, we're still, I mean, the biggest part of our job in the craft brewing industry is still educating our consumers, educating our staff, you know, in the case of brew pubs like Moon River. So yeah, there's still an enormous amount of people out there that still need to be reached, and it's a great opportunity.
Right.
But yeah, as far as the TV market is concerned,
it wasn't Sam's fault. It wasn't the fault of Discovery. I think in hindsight, as we get further ahead, we'll look at it as a show that was ahead of its time. You know, it's just not there yet. And what a lot of, you know, the passionate people that were really pissed off about it not being on the air, and they get angry with me for saying, hey, you know, I understand why it's not on the air. It wasn't their fault. I just think that they just didn't get the numbers. And that's really what it's all about. I mean, these programmers make their living off of putting programming on that gets numbers.
So, just a small segue on this topic. I mean, we were just talking about why do shows like The Logging Show attract so many people and not craft beer?
And Storage Lockers. And, you know, Storage Wars, one of my favorite shows, you know?
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know why? The first successful craft beer show, and this is where I get the haters that I've written a few times on the internet, is the first show that's going to be successful, in my opinion, my professional opinion, has to be entertaining first and about beer second. Does that make sense? So in other words, like our angle with Beer America TV is that I wanted to create the characters, okay? People come and watch Storage Wars, for example, because there are characters behind it. It just so happens to be it's about storage lockers, but the characters is why I watch. I don't watch because they're opening empty storage lockers. I watch because I love the guys and the women that are on the show. It's the characters. It's character driven. I've used this analogy a ton of times. Sam is a great character because you know him. I don't think Sam couldn't carry that show. No matter how good of a brewer he is, no matter how likable he is, and he is.
Well, my wife would argue that Sam is so handsome that...
I know, a lot of women out there would as well. But you know what? I think Sam was almost too likable. You know, a lot of these, like the storage locker guys, there's guys on there that aren't likable. You can't stand them. So it's very, there's guys that you love, and there's guys that are really out there. And I just don't think there were enough characters. And there's not, you know, Sam's got a lot of, again, they focused a lot on the brewery and Dogfish Head and all of that. And I don't know if there were enough characters that worked there. There's a lot of great people that work there, a lot of smart people that work there. It just wasn't character driven enough, in my opinion. And that's why I didn't get the numbers. That, and more importantly, the craft beer, us group, me included, everybody that's so passionate about this beer, still does not equate to 3 million viewers a week.
Yeah, maybe we just haven't tapped into all the characters that are in our industry, because I mean, this is an industry that is chock
Full
full of characters.
I so agree
include
with you.
myself among them. So
Yeah, and that's kind of what we're trying. That's kind of what I want to try to do, and I know a lot of other people out there are trying to pitch in beer shows too. We're not the only one, and if they succeed before we do, giddy up. I don't care. It's not a competition. It's not a race, because what I think will happen is the first successful beer show that comes out, you're going to see 3 or 4 more just like it, or behind it. You know?
if vlogging shows are any indication of
Exactly right. Exactly right.
that. Sorry to pick on the logging shows.
So that's my thought on the whole beer and TV thing. And if you disagree with me or agree with me or whatever, want to debate me about it, I love it. Go leave us a comment on BeerAmerica.tv or go to our Facebook page and like our Facebook page. We really need to get some likes on our Facebook page. Any other thoughts about it? I kind of dominated the conversation here. I didn't mean to. But I get really worked up about it. I get really worked up about people, especially the haters that got on me about it. It's like, dude, you know, you don't know what you're talking about. This is a great show idea, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you don't understand. It could be the best idea in the world.
Yeah, we know it's a great idea because it was your idea originally.
Yeah.
Go to the archives and look at the original episode with Sam.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean,
TV.
even the other show ideas that are out there that I've seen, those are good ideas. But again, if you're not going to get the numbers, I don't care how good it is. They're not going to put it on the air.
Yeah.
Not going to. And they're definitely not going to put on a drinking show. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, like Zane Lamprey, other people say, oh yeah, well, you know, there's, you know, the drinking made easy and all of that. Well, there's a reason why he's on HDNet or whatever, you know, and not on Discovery or not on Travel or any of that, because I don't think drinking shows aren't appealing because it sends the wrong message. It just sends the wrong message. You don't want to.
How do you get sponsors for that sort of thing?
Exactly. It's not. It shouldn't be a show about drinking, in my opinion. So. Right? I mean, you kind of feel pretty passionate about that as well. This movement, craft beer, and everything that's going on, it's never about mass consumption.
Yeah, there's plenty of drinking that goes on. Let's not get carried away, but the fact of the matter is we have to be careful with that message.
Right. Yep.
Certainly.
All right. So leave a question or comment, Paul@BeerAmerica.tv.
Pink@BeerAmerica.tv.
And I'd love to know what you think about beer and television. Hey, and if you've got an idea, seriously, let me know, because we'll talk offline. I definitely have friends that have the ears of the programmers.
We know people.
We know people. I mean that sincerely. So anyway, cheers. Ching.
Oh, we should have at least had a glass for cheersing.
Sorry about that.
Cheersing.
Or a beaker, for that matter.
Next time.
Test beaker.